Now, I don't really review newly released movies in theaters because I like to have more to edit with than just trailer footage. And well, do you see where I work? I'm not exactly getting a chance to go see movies days in advance. So by the time I go and actually see the newly released movie in theaters, everyone's already talking about the next new thing. Damn it! I was hesitant on making this video. The outpouring support for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the powerhouse of a directing and screenwriting machine Tarantino is, the amazing talent of Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, and plenty of other wonderful actors in the film. For the love of God, Scoot fucking McNairy's in this film. He's far too underrated in the business. Y'all ever seen Argo or Gone Girl? Great stuff. My opinion on this film is one that I know people will take an issue with, and I'm ready for it. I'm not a big YouTube reviewer. I mean, hell, look at that sub count. Audible sure as hell isn't going to be sponsoring me anytime soon. I don't go to film school and know the ins and outs of filmmaking to a T. I'm just a guy who loves movies and tries to learn from them with each and every film I watch. And this is what I learned from Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think John Campea said it best.
Again, this is a movie of moments. And that's where the strength of it lies.
And damn, do I ever agree with him. There are scenes, moments, and sequences that'll grab you by the neck and pry your eyelids open, making you love every frame that you're witnessing with the sheer level of craftsmanship going on. If I were rating the film based on just those moments alone, I'd easily give it a 10 out of 10. For the love of God, the last 25 minutes alone earned my respect for the entire picture. But unfortunately, there is much more than just those incredible moments, scenes, and sequences. There are many scenes in this film that I would say weren't necessary to the final cut. Yeah, technically the only person who can ever actually claim that is Tarantino himself, since it's his film. But am I really crazy to think that watching scenes of characters walking for what felt like 5 to 10 minutes with nothing added felt necessary to the entire film? Or how about when Sharon Tate was watching her own film for what felt like 10 minutes of on-screen time? Maybe there's some underlying message that I didn't understand or something I wasn't paying attention to, and if so, let me know in the comment section down below. But it felt like a lot of meandering to get to the explosive finale. And I've heard many online say that that was the point of the film, was to get the feel and aura of 1969 Hollywood, and for it to feel like one big ticking time bomb. And while yes, it did that fucking perfectly, there's still a lacking narrative pushing the film towards the final act. There is one thing that I have not stopped thinking about after watching this film. Had this movie been directed by a first-time, no-name director, would it have gotten the same love and praise that it's getting now? The same exact film, just a different director new to the scene. The optimist in me is saying absolutely. Hell, we got Midsommar not too long ago, and while Ari Aster was not a first-time director by then, it was his second feature. But the realist in me is saying I'm not entirely sure. It would be bold as hell for a first-time director to make something like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, but I'm not certain we would be loving it the same way we are now. The movie was just kind of there for a big portion of it, and when those inevitable great moments did pop up on screen, yeah, I was into it, but it was followed by, again, what I would call meandering. I never got invested in the story, just those kick-ass moments. The same can be said with the characters. They were entertaining as fuck, but I wasn't exactly rooting for anyone other than Sharon Tate. And that's just because of the real-life story, not because of her portrayal in the film, because she was unfortunately very underutilized, which is a shame because Margot Robbie is an immensely talented actor, and to have her play someone like Sharon Tate, there could have been something really special with her performance. Speaking of, the performances were all out of this world, and Leonardo DiCaprio is a lock for a nomination. I'm calling it right now, ladies and gentlemen. Mark it in your calendars. And if I'm wrong, well, you have my permission to call me an asshole. I'm not exactly sure if I'm in the minority with the opinion I hold about this film. I've heard others have mixed opinions on it here and there, but at the end of the day, it just left me feeling a bit empty. When this film is performing at its best, it's incredible. The scenes where Rick Dalton is acting in a TV show or film they're shooting is great stuff. Cliff Booth going to the ranch had me at the edge of my seat, and there's really nothing more that I can add about the last 25 minutes of the film that others haven't said before me. If you've seen the movie, you know just how crazy it can get, so I'll leave it at that. Whenever there's a movie that I don't love as much as others or even dislike, I always like to say that had I made the film, if my name was on the directing credit, I'd be popping champagne bottles and partying all night long. To have a film released worldwide in theaters is an achievement alone. All of our opinions are just a byproduct of the movie being made. I'm glad I watched the film. I'm glad I was able to study it and see what worked for some and didn't work for others. And at the end of the day, every film I watch is a learning experience to be able to one day perfect my craft of not only just filming these YouTube videos, but to hopefully make my own shorts and maybe even get the chance to work on set one day. Who knows what the future holds? I'll tell you what though, one thing I do know now is I have to go watch fucking Angry Birds 2.